I'm going to be looking at this HR diagram. So you should notice that there are 4 axes. You've got your temperature up at the top, and that lines up with the color that's at the bottom. So the thing to remember is that the lower temperatures over here are in your red range. So down at the bottom where it says K and M, that just represents the orange to reds. On the other end where it's hotter, you see 25,000 kelvins. That relates down on the spectral class. O's and B's just basically mean blue and white. So very hot, very bright stars. So that's the temperature and the color axis. On the magnitude end over here, that means how bright. On the luminosity end right here, that's just how much energy is kicking out of the star. So if you notice way up here at the top, all of these stars at the top end of the diagram, those are going to be extremely bright and producing a ton of energy. So a supergiant is a pretty cool star in the 5,000 degree area, but it's also huge, so it's producing a lot of energy and it's super bright. On the other hand, if you had a white dwarf, that would be a tiny star. It's relatively dim, but it's also extremely hot. So the idea would be, can we take a spot on the diagram like this star X and identify what its properties are? So X marks the spot. It's about 12,000 Kelvin. It's a 0 magnitude star. It's about a 10 squared luminosity, and it falls into the B range, which is probably either a white or a blue star. So that's just identifying, like, what are the qualities of a star. The other thing that you could do with this diagram is if you were told some characteristics, like if I said I've got a star that is a 1 luminosity and an A class star, all you'd have to do is line up where those two things meet. So an A star and a 1 luminosity, and I can tell you exactly where that star plots on the diagram. Aside from all of that, the other thing that you can notice and identify is that there are star names on the diagram. So we talked about what it means to be a supergiant or a red giant or a white dwarf. Those are stars that are dying. Whereas if I had a star that was going to plot somewhere along this collection of dots here, it's labeled as main sequence. That means it's an average star, burning hydrogen, and it's going to go about its life doing what it's doing for billions of years, most likely. Excuse me. So in terms of using the diagram, 2 functions. One is, if I give you some data, can you plot the star on the diagram? Like I did here with an A-class star, that's a 1 luminosity, that's plotting the star. And then the other is what we did with this star X right here, which is if you can identify, given a location on the graph, what are the 4 qualities of the star. So that's that on using the HR diagram. You will see an assignment pop up that is asking you to interpret the diagram. So you can use this video tutorial for that. And then don't forget, you also have all of the stuff that I posted on Classroom relating to how to read the diagram. I'm available for questions through email or through Classroom, and good luck. Let me know what you need.